What is going on here? Volcanic Island. All right.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jeskai John is thinking playing Death Shadow, but yeah. I don't know. Here's the Thoughtseize. And Island Cycle in Response. I don't know the name of that card, but it's an Island Cycle in Response.
And it's a common. Tidings is a common. It's not living in.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Wait, Tidings is 4. Never mind.
Okay, Phil finds a Tundra. Monka with a great question. What is the Death Shadow deck looking to do? So it's a tempo deck. It has counter magic. It has discard spells. We see Thoughtseize resolving right now. And it also, and this is in today's Magic, kind of unique to the Death Shadow deck. It deals damage to itself in order to lower its life total. And there's a creature named Death Shadow. I'll share the text in the chat. That's a 1 mana 13/13 that gets -X/-X, where X is your life total. So if you're at 1 life, it's a 1 mana 12/12. All right, Source to Plowshares is discarded. Source to Plowshares is pretty good against the Death Shadow strategy because you make them gain life, which they are not trying to do most of the time.
Should this just stay at 13?
Go ahead. What's up?
Should I just stay at 13?
I mean, that's the critical life total, right?
And we hear the players talking about right now how 13 is the critical life total because once you go below 13, Death Shadow is live.
Just mean you sword the like no matter how big the shadow gets, you sword.
Yeah, it always goes back. Yeah, it makes the map a lot easier for us.
All right, Watery Grave. Pay 2 life. Go down to 13. Go down to 12 now is John. Belful Strix.
Sure. Sure.
Good.
Monka says you could just chump block it, though. You can just chump block Death Shadow. You can. But the deck does run removal and... Yeah. All right, here's another Thoughtseize. Hand is revealed. The Island Cycler, Mystic Sanctuary, Force of Will, Terminus, and Prismatic Ending. Mystic Sanctuary makes this a bit awkward. Take Prismatic Ending. Tresley says Force of Will has an awesome playmat. I agree. Force of Will has style. Most of us know that already.
Cards, all of them? 5. Dude, there's so many cards. Come on now.
5 cards in John's hand. Twitch chat somewhat surprised. Jeskai John has embraced the Dark Sider's Counterbalance. Fetch in response, go to 9. Yeah, Monka will block it with Townsfolk of Van Hava. Exactly. It's a good game plan. Orcish Bowmasters. Deals the damage to Phil. Bowmasters is hot in Legacy right now.
The challenge for the Surveils.
Maybe one of the most played creatures in the format right now, which is crazy. There's an Orc army. This guy John using a very interesting token. I don't know any Pokemon besides the original 150, so don't even try explaining to me what that is. Force pitching days on counterbalance is countered. Mystic Sanctuary, target swords.
Before you draw, I'm gonna cast a brainstorm again just for the Surveils. Spin that.
Good.
Swords of Plowshares drawn, pass the turn. So knowing that Force of Phil has a swords in hand, there won't be any shadows deployed here, most likely.
I'm gonna play this ball.
Attacking for 3 with the Strix, Orc Army, and Baleful Strix. And Bowmaster, rather. There's a Brainstorm for John.
Leave that on top, I guess. I will crack the bottle targeting you. Combat. Hit you for 6. I'll say go up.
There's a Scalding Tarn.
Yep. 2, 3, 6. 7.
We're about to see a Murktide? Yeah, it is Murktide. It looks like it's going to be a 7/7.
Two cards?
Yep.
Alright, I'll search it.
Okay. Swords and Murktide. That puts John above, as we were talking about in the beginning of this match, the threshold of 13 life. So Death Shadow is shut off right now.
I'm going to Island Cycle this.
Island Cycle. What is the name of that Island Cycle card? Does anybody know in the chat and can help us out? Does anybody know? Exclamation point card, and then the card name in the chat would be a big help. Another Mystic Sanctuary. It gets played. It's actually pretty neat to Island Cycle find a Sanctuary. That's pretty cool. Source Plowshare is going back on top.
6.
Lorien Revealed. Okay. Would never have guessed that.
I'll say go.
John fetching on upkeep. 14. Will John find another watery grave? Yes. Go to 12.
With the trigger on the stack, I'm gonna wasteland it. Sure.
Cycling is usually still drawing, but not island cycling.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, another Baleful Strix.
Which one?
Yep.
Ponder for John.
End step, I'm gonna bolt Surveils.
So Phil draws the swords we know about and passes the turn. Bowmaster, the Orc Army, and 2 birds.
I'll leave that on top.
Someone in the chat a moment ago was saying Strix has seemed not that great lately because of Bowmaster. We're living in an interesting time in Legacy. X1s are in danger.
Yes.
Another Baleful Strix. Okay. John draws a card. Phil's at 6. 5 power on the board right now. We know Phil has the swords.
Slot monitor? Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna force that, pitching the Murktide.
Swords on the Bowmaster. Will resolve. That turns on cantrips now for Phil. I mean, assuming there's no other Bowmaster in hand, at least. Hard casting Terminus. Uh-oh.
Okay, down to 2.
Are we just gonna daze here? Ugh. Yikes. Force pitching Lorien revealed, and Terminus resolves. Well, Phil's now hellbent, but the board is clear. That Orc army is also gone. It's accidentally still on the table. Okay, Phil correcting that.
10.
Going down to 10. Now we might see the shadows get deployed. There's one.
Good.
So a 3/3 shadow as of right now could easily become a 5/5 if John has a way to lose 2 life. Deploys a Murktide. This is pre-combat. It's a 5/5 Murktide. Swing for 3, put Phil down to 2, snuff out the Murktide. Okay, before damage, snuff out the Murktide. Nicely played by John to finish the game. Going to game 2. I think you still go for it there if you're John.
Is this on? It is, right?
Mystic Sanctuary tap to start the game for Phil. Not that exciting. Watery Grave after a Polluted Delta for John.
I'm gonna play Wasteland. I'm gonna waste the seat.
Pay 3 life. That's part of the plan. Thoughts?
Move my second main.
The hand is revealed. It looks like 2 Lorien revealed, Flusterstorm, Prismatic Ending, Ponder, and I'm not sure what the last card is. What card did John just point to? If anybody knows, help us out. Where is Phil's playmat from? Phil's playmat is a 1 of 1, as far as we know. Oh, that's Stern Scolding. Okay, so it's 1 mana, counter a creature, mana value 2 or less. Is that right? Or power 2 or less? Is it mana value or power? Power or toughness 2 or less. Okay.
Delver trigger, but I know it's not gonna flip. I mean, let's just see. No rod.
Never didn't have it. Good.
Okay, here's a ponder for John. Fluster. All right.
Sigo.
Is that true? It was designed to counter Luris? I have no idea. All right, island cycling happening here. Lorien revealed. Tundra. It's played.
Puppets.
You play 3 lands?
What's up?
You only play.
You just missed the land.
That is
Yes.
Here's a ponder for John. Inspiring Spike worked on the set and added toughness so it can counter Luros. That makes sense. Gizlo and Sirius says, "Happy birthday, Chris." Thank you. I celebrated by going out and eating barbecue, drinking beer, and playing Legacy in your honor. It was a great time. That sounds like an excellent day. That sounds like an excellent day. Well done.
DRC. Brainstorm Surveil.
Why didn't they ask me to work on the set? I know stuff about Magic cards. I should have worked on the set. Right, everybody?
No, that's it.
Okay. I accidentally put a brainstorm on the board, but meant to make it a wasteland. Here's Bowmasters.
Let's go.
What you got for
Okay, here's the Stern Scolding. Fluster Storm on that. It is countered. Bowmasters will resolve. It looks like. There's the weird token of a Pokemon we are not familiar with and don't care about. Whoa! Orange Roo says we don't need goblins being tier 0. It's probably for the best you didn't work on it. If I worked on a Magic set, I would make the metagame perfect, everybody. I would check my spreadsheet of the metagame win percentages and make it perfect. It would all work out perfectly.
Four cards.
I have 4 now, yeah. No, I have 3. Go ahead.
Sure. Wastelands.
Yeah, every deck would have a 50-50 win rate. Exactly. And the play patterns would, you wouldn't believe how good the play patterns would be. Unbelievable. High Train Conductor Harry Houdini says, when are you applying for Wizards of the Coast? Maybe I already did. Maybe they offered me a job and I declined.
This is the same.
I said I'm too busy.
They're both the same card.
Never know. High Train Conductor Harry wants Murktide banned.
Flip. Play a
flip it.
land.
Full blue set.
Results.
Hit you for 2.
All right, here's Baleful Strix. Triumph of St. Catherine. Very interesting. Still not on MTGO, even though it's been 7 years.
This takes up to 2.
Baleful Strix. Scalding Tarn. I think I'm just going to uninstall MTGO and throw out the CD-ROM. What do you think, chat? I think I'm just going to throw it out. Uninstall, throw away the CD. Who's with me? Sick of this crap.
Exile the top 6.
Yeah.
All right, Triumph doing its thing here. Very interesting. Wow, John cutting the deck. Very thorough. This is all according to regulation. Counterbalance coming down.
Take 3.
Fetch on this.
Fetch on the stack. Brainstorm. Okay.
Delver triggers. We'll finally flip. Meltdown. Might be a touch too late. We'll draw it.
Okay.
I'm gonna meltdown. X equals 1. Surveils. 2 surveils.
Can Just Guy John actually remove a St. Catherine with Shadow? Yeah, you can surgical it when it dies.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Blue.
Spell Pierce, Forged Pitching Counterbalance. Quite a fight here.
Resolve.
Good.
Counterbalance is hit.
1.
As resolved.
Before you change.
So Phil played around Spell Pierce by casting that Brainstorm when he did, and was able to force the eventual Spell Pierce on Counterbalance. So it worked out in Phil's favor, that little counter battle that happened.
I'll just swing.
Looks like only one card in hand now for Phil. Engineering Explosives X is 2.
For 2.
So you
2 cards on?
Yep. One of which you know is the force.
All right, blowing up Counterbalance, blowing up Baleful Strix, and passing the turn.
I'm going to predict her myself.
Predict on upkeep, it looks like.
Engineered explosives.
I need to get rid of that memory.
I'm going to change.
Did Phil name Engineered Explosives? And that was the second card. Oh, maybe Phil messed up the order? Oh, that's so unfortunate.